It's October 29th here in Terlingua, my property. You can see all the grassland has dried up, but the desert willows are still green. So did a little trimming on this one because it was coming into the path and kind of growing into the ground. You can see there's some flood debris still here. This is a big old log and it was kind of growing in there, so I trimmed that up. And there's my lovely cottonwood. Now it's barely starting to feel like fall here, so that should turn a little bit of color, but that's the only thing that's really gonna make it feel like fall compared to where I came from, which was Western North Carolina. So seasons are very different out here. I'm definitely getting used to that difference. But the creek, we had some rain last week, so the creek ran a little bit. Just wanted to show you all that before it dries up. I don't remember there being water past September in the creek, so this is a nice surprise. But again, that flood debris, I've kind of excavated some of it so you could see exactly what travels. This is a huge branch. I don't know if you can tell, but it's probably a foot in diameter in places. So I kind of got that out so you could see it a little better. A lot of it is this size, you know, just branches like that. But, you know, this was floating down here from this floodplain. So it just shows you how far away the creek can be with the floodplain, you know, during certain years getting up to this height. Here's another one that I kind of lifted out. So this will be some really good firewood. I've been collecting all this flood debris, all the logs around here, and cutting it up, cooking over that sometimes. I do have a tiny little wood stove in my camper, but it's not that cold yet for the wood stove to be needed. So we're still a little bit from the floodplain, but there's different terraces. So that's a much higher one. That's like the last floodplain. But if you can see here, this grassland, that's kind of the next stage up past the creek bank. So last year we definitely had, I think, a couple times where water got up to here. Not this last time. There was only about half an inch of rain up north. I barely got any on the property, but you can see there's still water in the creek, which is lovely. It's so nice to have it. I mean, when I moved here, there was no water in it. When I looked at the property, there was no water in it. So you can see someone's been coming down here. It looks like maybe a cow or a horse. That's a big old footprint, right, lady? See, that's hers right there. But it's only about a foot deep or so. It's not too deep, but we do have water going. Oh, there's ducks. Oh, I wish you could see that. I don't know if it's going to zoom. There's like a dozen ducks out there. Oh, wow. And here's another little creature. I don't know what that is. Oh, those ducks are leaving. They're flying away. Oh, they're coming this way. Let's see if we can get them. Wow. Yeah, they're circling. I don't know if they're looking for a new spot or what. Yep, they're landing right back. Oop. Might be time for a new spot. Anyway, this is life out here. See, that's how high the water is in most places. So here's a nice piece I got. I believe this is maybe some mesquite. It's kind of hard to tell after a while. Usually when I cut into it, I'll find out what kind of wood it is. You can see these piles here are just full of it. Full of wood. So I'm gonna go take that that piece. But it is good to know what the different woods are so that you don't burn stuff that's maybe more valuable as a turning wood or some you can make furniture out of. But there's so much mesquite, salt cedar as well. So every time I go to the creek now, I bring back logs that I find from that flood debris, and I've been cutting them up into firewood, which has been interesting because there's so many different colors in here. Some that I don't know how to identify them. Like, I'm pretty sure these are mesquite right here, and then this I think is cottonwood or willow. Maybe that's the cottonwood. And then there's some that are really pretty. Let's find, like that one. I don't know if you can see it, but it's maintaining its color. Might be a cedar of some sort. And there's this rich brown. I think that's like just an old mesquite. And then there's some acacia, I think. Anyway, it's really cool to see all these, some of which I wish they were bigger pieces so I could work with them. Also, the pigs are still doing well. There's one right here resting. They're kind of funny. They don't get bothered by me, but they do get excited. I don't know why. What's the matter? They got all these things in their coat. But their coat's definitely coming back. Their Hungarian Mangalitsa fur. They thinned out a little bit in the summertime. What you doing? But you sleeping? 6 o'clock. Not bedtime yet. There's 2 more down here. All 5 are still alive. And they've been foraging a lot lately, which is good. I know in the beginning I said they weren't really eating the grass. Well, when you don't feed them restaurant leftovers, they have to eat something, and there's plenty of grass. And they eat the Johnson grass too, which is great because that's an invasive. So they've been eating the stalk and the seeds and the root of that, digging it up. But here's their little, I'm in their little pen right now. But it's not really a pen because they can come and go as they please. This is where I've been, feeding and watering them. What do you find over here? What are you even eating? There's no food. They're acting like they're chewing on something. But I had their wallow pit set up right here. And I tried to seed that and put some mulch down, but they just got into it again. Hi, what you doing? But yeah, you can tell they've been rummaging around in the grass with all this stuff. Oh. So, yeah, still got them. I planned on weighing them using a tape measure, which doesn't really make sense if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's a technique where you wrap a tape measure around their chest and from the back of their head to their tail and do some calculations to find out roughly how much they weigh to see if they were ready for slaughter. So I'm looking, it's a very double-edged sword, the slaughter day. I'm not looking forward to killing anything. That's never something I look forward to, but I really look forward to the meat and the butchering. I know. But my whole philosophy with these animals is that I give them a really good life, better than most humans, in my opinion. And then that one day that they die is the bad day. And a lot of people have that philosophy in the regenerative ag, permaculture, small farm world. But it's something that I thought more and more about as time goes on. How I'm giving these animals a great life. I mean, they're out here prancing around, eating grass, in the sun, in the fresh air. I mean, they truly do have a nice life. And then they have that one bad day. And then I honor them by processing that meat and preparing it in an excellent way. It's not like I'm, you know, cooking it all to hell and over salting it. So, you know, I do really honor that meat, and I love it. It's delicious, and I've had friends remark on past pork that I've butchered. So, you know, and there's also really no good alternative. No one's raising pigs around here the way I want them, the way I want my meat raised. And so you got to do things yourself. I've realized that about a lot of stuff lately. You have to just got to buckle up and do it yourself. But hopefully someday I can have a community where we're all doing beautiful things with each other, in regards to prepping food and crafts and art and music and everything, so we can create beautiful, nice things within our communities. That's really the ultimate goal for me, at least. We'll see if I can find some folks that share that. All right, it's about sunset here. We're getting our little nests in, hoping that I have a dinner for them. I'm gonna go pick up the buckets at the restaurant for them. And then you're gonna get your nice gourmet meal.